All right, so we have a quick one with veteran musician Ben Brako, whose song you just heard. This time around, we are not talking entertainment. Ben Brako has been out of the country. He came back, and unfortunately, he was coming for his son's wedding. Unfortunately, he got diagnosed, or he was. How did they say? You were diagnosed,
Tested.
or you tested at the airport, and then they diagnosed you as positive, or what they say?
No, I tested positive.
You tested positive for COVID, and then they had to quarantine you.
Yeah.
So let's start the story from there, because that's where it all started. So you got to Kotoka, and then you had to go through the test like everybody else would do. And then the result came out positive.
The result came out positive, which surprised me, right? Because first of all, I had COVID, you know, earlier when I was in Ghana, around Christmas.
Last year Christmas.
Yeah, this last Christmas.
Okay, so 2020 Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I was hospitalized and everything, and you know, really, my wife too was, you know, she was very badly off. So I had to discharge myself, just take care of her, and we healed, and we both tested negative before we could fly out. Okay. So, and the thing is that if you do catch the ailment and you heal, it is very rare for you to get reinfected. You understand? So it's like
very rare, but there's a likelihood that people also still get it.
Yeah. So it's less than 1%. Okay. So, and then, you know, I vaccinated the Moderna vaccine. You know, both. You know,
you're taking both jabs.
Yeah, taking both jabs, and I have the document to prove it. You know, and then I had to test again. Before flying here, okay. So I get
and that result was negative.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, I did it twice. You know, because you have a 72-hour window. You know, when it's supposed to be effective. So my flight got delayed because my first test didn't come in early enough. So I had to do one again, just like a day before flying. So I was surprised. So. You know, but you see, you know, even the way they approach you and the way they go bundle all of you into a small room, you know, and there's maybe just a policeman there and then a nurse. And everybody's, you know, you've traveled like, you know, 15, 16 hours, you know, and, you know, everybody's, you know, worried and, you know, wondering what the hell is going on.
So what did they say to you? They said you are tested positive.
Yeah.
And what?
And so I have to come into the room there. You know, well, they just said like, come with me.
Okay.
You know, I said, what is it? So I said, you come. I said, have I tested positive? He said, you come. So I followed them into the room, and there were all these people there already. You know, so I'm trying to find out what's going on. They said, I've tested positive. I said, well, this is a very small chance, you know, that I could have tested positive. But I said that, look, let me take another test. That one was the antigen. So let me take a PCR test. You know, so that by tomorrow it will be ready. So that if it's still positive, I know, then obviously I'll quarantine myself. I came here for my son's wedding, which is happening on Thursday. I arrived on Tuesday. And you said that you're going to incarcerate me for 3 days, you know, and then before you can test me again. I said, no, it's not going to work, you know. Just you give me another test. If I'm positive, you know, I won't go anywhere. I don't want to go out infecting people.
So your concern was that was an antigen test. You wanted a PCR test, which was more involving than the antigen test.
Yeah, which is supposed to be more accurate.
Than and then fast forward, you said you were taken away from the hotel with some others. And then you were lodged in a hotel. And then you didn't like the vicinity of the hotel that you found yourself.
It was a dump. You know, I mean, very dirty, you know, unhygienic, and even the water.
So we have some of the visuals. I don't know if you can roll them whilst he speaks about the treatment he got.
You know, so the water was like water from Galamsey. People have, you know, dirtied it, you know. It was brown. And I was shocked, you know, because since I got there, I've been using this to wash my mouth, and have my bath, you know. And I realized that, damn, I should have been using bottled water to do this, you know. So from then, I couldn't even eat from that place anymore because it's the same water they be using
to cook.
To cook, you know.
Oh, you're sure of that? I'm not sure. The water looks too brownish for something that could be used for a meal.
Oh, anyway, I'm sure they use water from the system. Maybe it will not look as brown, but it will have the same content. You see what I mean?
But did you have any reason, like during this process, were you given room to, you know, complain and say, can you change my hotel?
No, that's the thing. They didn't give you any choice. They said that either you go to M Plaza, they take me to M Plaza, or I have to go to Pantai Mental Home.
Mental home?
Yeah, where they've, I think, called in a section of as a quarantine
Okay,
place.
so it's they have a quarantine session there at the mental home.
Yeah.
When you said that, I got worried. I was like, what are you going to do in the mental home? Okay, so, but you opted to be in the hotel. And
yeah, because in the hotel, they're charging you like 540 cedis at least per day. Okay? So you expect, when you hear M Plaza, you expect a decent, you know, standard of hotel, you know? And you go there and you realize that, what? You know, it's run down. I think it was closed before, and they just, you know, are using it for this purpose. And so it's, you have to wait 3 days. I don't understand the 3 days. I said, let me test. If I'm okay.
So I'm being told that, you know, you had options. The health service, Ghana Health Service, my colleague Johnny Hughes is telling me that the Ghana Health Service says they gave options. You're not forced to go to a certain hotel.
It's a lie. I wasn't. I went through the experience. You see, these people, they talk about what they put on paper. Okay? It's not the same thing as what you actually experience. You understand?
So you aren't given options. Your two options you told me was the mental home or you go to
which
this
is
hotel.
Free. You don't have to pay any money. Okay. Or the hotel at, you know, the 540.
And you have to pay that for 3 days.
Yes.
And then on the third day, what happened? So did they keep checking you or checking on you? And like you said to me, you didn't even have an option of complaining about the facilities in the hotel for them to have changed it.
Yeah, you know, they didn't have a proper manager there.
Oh, you mean the hotel? I'm even talking about the health service personnel or person who took you to the hotel. You didn't have the opportunity to meet with them or talk to them and say, I don't like the facility here. Can I change my hotel?
No. It's a different set of people there. They have a nurse there, and then doctor comes in and out. Okay. So later on, I got a chance to talk to the doctor because I was trying to explain that, you know, we are not commodities. We are individual human beings, and our experiences are different. Okay. And in my case, I've had a COVID, so the chances of me being reinfected is very, very slim.
Okay, so now let's move on to what happened the third day. Were you checked on constantly? Did they have to take your test, or they said they did it just after the third day? And
yeah, they did it on the third day. No, after the third day. Okay.
So let's say the fourth day?
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, I came in on Tuesday, and they did it on Friday.
Okay, so we're going to say, once you speak, we're taking a look at the water that you had to use, the sink and the water you had to use. You go ahead.
Yeah, so...
that's the water he was talking about. And this is what you took your bath with, and this is what you brushed your teeth with.
Yes.
Whoa.
And shaved. The fact that it was shaving that I noticed that, you know, the color had gone funny because it's a white foam. So I said, what is this? I thought I cut myself or something. And then, you know, I realized I didn't cut anything. So I let the water run because I used it to clean the blade.
The blade stick.
Before I used it. Then I realized that, you know, it was brown like river water. So I said, what? What is this? So then I stopped and I let the water run down. And you could see inside the sink that there were remnants.
Particles.
Particles. You know? And then I started really looking around. And I realized that the place was filthy. They don't clean the damn place. You know? If you look at some of the pictures, you will see when I took a picture, a video of the bath, and then the corner of where the sink is, you know.
So, but because you were COVID positive, they didn't have housekeeping coming to clean.
Well, because I tested positive. It doesn't mean I was COVID positive.
Okay, because you tested positive. You didn't have house cleaning coming.
No.
Coming
Never
in
changed
Nobody
my sheet
changed your sheets,
no.
but you're paying $550 on a day.
Yes,
for 3 days that you stayed there.
Yes.
Okay, so on the 4th day you were tested again.
I was tested. It came out negative. Okay, but you see, on Friday, what they did, they take samples for the 2 tests, one PCR and one antigen. Right, antigen is fast, so it comes in, and they say that if you test negative on any
So
one
on the
of them,
3rd day, they agreed to do the PCR and the antigen on the 4th day. Is that what happened?
Yeah.
And so the antigen test came out still positive?
Negative.
And then the PCR also was negative?
Yes.
Did you have to question them? Because it sounds strange to me. I'm not a health personnel, but it sounds strange to me that within the space of 3 days, you moved from positive to negative. What did they say could have happened?
Well, they have this convoluted explanation for it, okay? And first of all, they say that it's the incubation period, that they're saying that you might test positive again when you're not really positive if you do it before 3 days. And I said, if at my own cost, if I want to do it, let me do it. If it's positive, then I'll be convinced. You see what I mean?
Yeah, because if you're supposed to stay for 14 days quarantine before a test is run on you again, maybe I do not have the knowledge that the health experts have. But finally, let's tell people what you're looking for, what you seek to tell people by sharing this story, what you're actually pained or disappointed with or about.
Yeah, okay. See, Ghana, we pride ourselves saying that we are the Akwaba country,
welcoming.
Welcoming. But, the experience is very different. And it wasn't just me. I mean, there were a lot of foreigners there and a lot of Black Americans who had come trying to see if they could maybe plan to come and settle. One of them even was going to buy land, came with the group. The group left him, and he was so bitterly disappointed. He said, the first point of contact of a visitor, and this is how people are treated, So most of them, when they were released, went straight back to the airport.
And left?
Yes.
Did he stay again?
Yeah. I'll try to convince this guy that, look, this official stuff is different from the people. The people are warm, and so you should try and, finish his trip and experience the real Ghana. He said no.
He wasn't staying.
He wasn't convinced, And at least I can count like 8 of them who said they were going back.
Wow.
You see, and the thing is, why can't they monitor what goes on? Because so many people test negative after 3 days, right? So it should tell you something, that maybe the test is not accurate enough for you to just incarcerate people and waste their time. You see what I mean? So they should be able to give you a test the next day, or even the same day at the airport,
Wow.
Well,
I'm sure the producers will take this conversation up, and maybe they'll have to speak to the Ghana Health Service to find out more. Now, we have a case from a veteran who is not happy about how he was treated once he touched down Kotoka, and he said I shouldn't say he tested positive, for COVID-19. But this September, joined the